Alright guys, welcome back to the RC Guru YouTube channel. Today we're going to do an update, part 2 on the K10 Build series. So if you can see it up top there, you notice it's got some white paint on it, and you'll notice that I have an assortment of different sanding tools of the trade, you might say. They're sanding blocks. They're not normal sanding blocks, as you see. The ends of them, they're different colors. Different colors mean different things. Fine. This is like a fine medium. This is a fine fine. This is a fine low. This is a fine medium. So anyway, you get your body from RC4WD Drive, and it's completely gray. There we are. You get your body from RC4WD Drive. It's completely gray. Your body kit, or whatever, your hard body. And then you gotta, what I normally do is I'll find a picture online of a truck that I like and a paint scheme, and then I'll find the picture, and then I'll say, yeah, I like that, and then I'll take cues from that. So if you're doing a weathered paint job, it's a different story. But this one's going to be a straight, not a show paint job, but it's going to be a nice, classy, nice truck paint job. It's not going to be weathered and disturbed. We're not going to get into that right yet. So when you first get your body, it won't look like this. It'll be all gray. This is masking tape. Don't worry about that. This is the hood. You have to install the hood. You have to install the tailgate. You have to install the box. You have to glue all the seams. I use this E6000 for glue instead of super glue, because I prefer E6000 just because, I don't know, I do. And inside of the instruction booklet, it says if you prefer to use E6000 for better control, do so. It's good stuff, and it's paintable and whatever. So anyway, you get your body and you start going through the instructions, and then you're like, okay, well, I can't. You have to prep the body for sanding, or prep the body for painting. So this is why this whole block, all these sanding blocks are right here. So you take your body and you just go over it. If you just want to do a quick sand job or a quick paint job, and it's not going to be that important to you, then you can just take a red Scotch-Brite, or yeah, you can take a red Scotch-Brite and scratch it all up just so it looks hazy, and then wash it off with just water, maybe some Dove, but make sure you get all of it off, and then it has to completely dry. And then after it's completely dry, you can spray your paint. Now, paint this time, I use any kind of paint. Okay, this is an old truck. These old trucks had oil-based paint. I want it to have the look and effect of old oil-based paint. I don't know if you guys can notice. Just little tiny, like defects in the paint, I would call them. They're almost like cracks, but it's what happens when you use oil-based paint. It dries, it cracks, it leaves little tiny imperfections. So everything that you see white right now on this truck, I went through this truck and it had mold lines all along the top. You could see a high-rise red ridge. I shaved there's a drip ledge that goes around here, the window. I shaved that all off the front. I want to go with a more hot rod look. So I shaved the side lamps as well. And when I mean I shaved them, I filled them with putty. I sanded them, Bondo, the whole nine, spot filler, and got rid of them. And then I laid down this is a high gloss white, but it's also a primer too. So I laid down 4 coats of this. to make sure it's nice and thick because I'm using it as a primer, and anything that's painted green or anything that has masking tape on it that's green is going to remain white because our next color is red, and it's fire red. I didn't bring it up, but anyway. So if you notice the masking, you really got to take your time. And you don't need crazy expensive masking tape, but take your time, mask it off appropriately. I'm not completely done because you'll see the tailgate. Tailgate isn't finished yet. The white on white's really blown out there. Anyway, the tailgate isn't done yet. But I also went with white bumpers. Some people might go, oh no, white bumpers. But I think that's gonna look good. Everything else will be red now. Remember, everything white that you can see right now is gonna be red. So the truck's gonna be red with white accents. Just because it's white right now, that's just my base coat. And I'm also keeping it. It's just a gloss white. I've been asked if it's pearl, but it's because it's got 5 layers and it looks deep, it looks hard. It's an oil-based enamel, so it's hard as a rock. So go through your whole body, make sure it's sanded properly the way you want it. If it has defects in it, sand them down. If your hood doesn't line up the way you like it, now's the time. My hood stuck way out in the front, so I had to use these sanding blocks, and I had to reshape the front of the hood so that the hood lined up properly. Before, it was kind of like this. And I even had to go up. In here with a little file and give that a little file almost to the window so that the actual latch that's underneath the mechanism for the hood could go back further. You can see it right there. Right there. It's almost to the window casing, but it needed the space. The other one is alright. It fits in there super snug. So the next update, I guess, guys, will be when it's red. We're going to go with D44 axles. Don't know what kind of chassis I'm going to use yet. I'm either going to use a Vanquish Pro chassis. And if I use a Vanquish Pro chassis, I might just use the Pro axles. They're going to be black, we know that for sure. But that's a good update for today on the build process. And the reason I can't get this done any faster is because of snow outside, guys. And it was raining the other day. And when it's raining and the temperature's up and down, left and right, I mean, you can't spray paint in the house. So you have to go out to the garage. And when your garage isn't temperature controlled, you can't paint. So anyway, this paint's had a lot of time to dry and cure. That's great. Most of my masking is done, and the next step will be the red paint. And then once the red paint's done, oh, I forgot. I did the interior. Hold on, 1 second, I'll grab it. Now I did 2 interiors, okay? So I did one by hand in 3D printing, and the other one is, the other one comes with the kit. I'll show you the one that comes with the kit first. When I say kit, I mean K10 body kit. Box. It comes as a kit. So this is the first option. It's got captain's chairs, it looks real nice. These are the interior of the doors, the door cards, I guess you'd call them, armrests, window winders. So they'll go on like that, except the other way, like this. That'll go like that.
You look in the window. Pretty cool. See the inside, he's got some change, tools hanging around, and there's a awesome shifter. See the lever? And then just a skull head on the dash. An RC4 drive sticker. Now the other option, because the captain's chairs, they're nice, but they're not a reality. They didn't come in these trucks. Bench seats came in the trucks. So here's a whole other interior with a bench seat. Now I'd have to use the dash and whatnot. But look at the detail on this one. There's a couple of notches down there for it to fit stuff, but you know what I mean. So those are going to be the two options for the interior. Why don't you guys tell me which option you want me to go with? Want me to go with captain's chairs, or do you want to go with the bench seat, something that's a little more proper? Let me know. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Those are floor mats, if you're wondering what those are. All the sanding pads you need, that I prefer. And you eventually get to wet sanding paper. And that little square did that whole truck. So you don't need a whole lot. See if I can find any of those little defects I was trying to show you earlier. Not really. You can kind of see them. That's build process update number 2.